Good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to On the Spot, a program where we take a look at the issues making the headlines in today's news. The most interesting thing today is that we had a bump into the People's President Advocate Nelson Chamisa earlier today at the Remand Prison, where he went to visit incarcerated activist Hopo Chingono. He visited Jacob Ngari Vumwe, and he also visited other activists in prison, including the mayor of Harare, Mayor Gomba. So we just want to take a look at what the president said after that visit.
We await the judgment and the application on Thursday.
Okay.
But they're in high spirit and they are focused, and they really want to see a better country.
Your comment about what is happening in the country, the tension.
Well, the situation in the country is not good, and we would want things to be okay. I would suggest we'll give a proper statement because I'm yet to have a proper discussion with the party leadership in terms of briefing. But clearly we must do something about what is happening. And it is time that, we take care of the Zimbabwean lives that matter across the whole world and, of course, in Zimbabwe. We must be serious about the situation.
Thank you.
So that was the People's President earlier today at the Harare Remand Prison when he visited incarcerated activists who were arrested in the run-up to the 31st of July. We also move on to some more interesting news where Vice President Constantino Chiwenga has been appointed the substantive Minister of Health and Child Care. Chiwenga replaces Dr. Obadiah Moyo, who was fired last month after he was charged with criminal abuse of office over the alleged awarding of a $60 million contract for COVID-19 supplies. In terms of Section 99 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment number 20, Act 2013, His Excellency the President, Comrade E.D. Mnangagwa, has appointed Honorable Vice President Dr. C.D.G.N. Chiwenga as Minister of Health and Child Care, read a statement by Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. Meshek Sibanda. In making this decision, His Excellency the President has noted the urgent need to stabilize, restructure, and reform the national health delivery system to better cope with challenges of the global COVID-19 pandemic, and in the process, ensuring a quick turnaround in national health care. The latest development comes after President Mnangagwa on Monday appointed Air Commodore Dr. Jasper Chimeza as the new permanent secretary for the Health Ministry. In 2018, Chiwenga, in his capacity as a supervisor of government social services cluster, fired striking nurses. The nurses were demanding that their night duty allowance be hiked from 76 cents per hour to $70. So that is what has happened. Later today, during the day, we continue with looking at some of the stories that made the headlines. Doctors in private practice have appealed for government and corporate sector assistance in the provision of personal protective equipment, as they have been overwhelmed by patients turned away from public hospitals because of the ongoing strike by medical staff. Medical and Dental Private Practitioners of Zimbabwe Association interim president Johannes Marisa said they could no longer cope with the increasing number of clients flocking to private clinics. Also, on the COVID-19 case, ZANU-PF Harare South Member of Parliament Tongai Mnangagwa has become the first prominent person in the country to announce testing positive for COVID-19. Mnangagwa, nephew to President Emmerson Mnangagwa, made the announcement in a constituency WhatsApp group on Monday. It is with great dismay that I have to deliver this news to you, my family, my friends and colleagues, said the legislator. I have tested positive for coronavirus disease, COVID-19, and I'm appealing to everyone who has been in contact with me to take precautionary measures and get tested and or go into isolation whilst practicing all the safety precautions. Right, in other news, Zim authorities make another Twitter-related arrest. So this is information coming through this evening that the Zimbabwe Republic Police today arrested George Makonzo, who resides in Mwenezi in Masvingo province, and charged him with incitement as defined in section 187.1 of the Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act, alternatively criminal nuisance, as defined in section 46.25 of the Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act. Prosecutors told Mwenezi Magistrate Honest Musiwa, when Makonzo appeared in court on Wednesday, that the 32-year-old man used an unknown gadget to post some comments on Twitter on Friday, 24 July 2020, saying, "It's no longer business as usual for ED. Now the whole world knows the true colors of the crocodile we are dealing with." Makonzo also reportedly tweeted that Hopewell will be remembered for the great job he is doing, while those corrupt ones trying to run, but they will have nowhere to run to. That day will come. All right, we move on to another related story. Beitbridge border post temporarily closed for decontamination yesterday after 5 employees of the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority tested positive for COVID-19 amid unconfirmed reports that the cases had risen to 12. Zimra spokesperson Francis Chimanda confirmed the development but insisted that only 5 workers had been infected. In earlier statement, Chimanda urged Zimra staff countrywide to remain vigilant and outlined measures by his organization to curb the spread of COVID-19 at its offices, inland ports, and borders. Moving on to business, investors lose a cumulative $10 billion on the first day of trading. Trading resumed yesterday at the country's stock exchange, and investors reportedly lost a whopping $10 billion on the first day of trading since the government suspended trading, pending investigations into black market activities fueling the runaway exchange rate. The Chronicles reports, according to the publication, the market cap closed the day at $218 billion yesterday, down from $228 billion on 26 June, the last day of trade before the month-long suspension. So these have been some of the news that have been making the headlines in today's newspapers. We also read from the Herald that Albert Mpofu has been in quarantine for up to 90 days. So we continue to follow closely issues related to COVID-19 cases that have been on the increase over the last few days. In the latest news, 10 more people succumbed to COVID-19 in one day. So this has been the highest daily toll after 12 passed on, the second highest daily toll after 12 passed on last Thursday. So these are the news that have been making the headlines. Continue to keep in touch with us on our page, Zim Daily Facebook page, and also our YouTube channel at Zim Daily. We love to hear from you, and your comments are welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for this 15 minutes of news as we looked at the news on the sport. Thank you so much, Zimbabwe. God bless you, and may you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
We await the judgment and the application on Thursday.
Okay.
But they're in high spirit and they are focused, and they really want to see a better country.
And your comment about what is happening in the country, the tension.
Well, the situation in the country is not good, and we would want things to be okay. I would suggest we'll give a proper statement because I'm yet to have a proper discussion with the party leadership in terms of briefing. But clearly we must do something about what is happening. And it is time that, we take care of the Zimbabwean lives that matter across the whole world and, of course, in Zimbabwe. We must be serious about the situation.
Thank you.